A very good afternoon to you. Thank you again for joining us. And this is another edition of Diaspora Dispatches, where we get an opportunity to look at other news making headlines across the continent and as well as fill you in the latest figures in regards to COVID-19 in Africa today, the 9th of June 2020, about 13 or about so minutes to 1 p.m. there here in Nairobi. Good morning, good evening, depending on where you're watching us from, and thank you so much for joining us today. We have so much in store for you from different countries across the continent, and another worrying report from South Sudan there. Another group that is forming, and they're saying they want to remove President Salva Kiir. And so, to just look at some this and other stories before I get into the statistics, we have Dr. David Matanga, who will be joining us from the Political Command Center. Doctor, a very good afternoon to you.
Afternoon, Miriam. How are you, Africa?
I'm very well. Yes, Africa is fine, I believe. Maybe not quite with the numbers we're seeing surging there of COVID-19. We have more reasons to worry now, but it appears we've not gotten to the level of what people like Melinda Gates were saying, that we shall pick dead bodies in the African streets across the continent. So I think we're still trying our best, and we're trying to contain the situation in regards to the COVID-19. So we're not badly off, but also we're not very well.
You remember, we haven't reached our peak season yet. The peak season is coming. So let's pass that peak season, then we can stand and way where to go, how to go about it. But for now, we just need to concentrate on washing our hands, keeping ourselves a distance, and many other things, wearing masks in order to keep the disease away from us.
Mm-hmm. All right, thank you there. So we look at the statistics and then we get into the news-making headlines. Kenya right now, as we said there earlier, stands at 2,872 cases. The death toll in the country is 85. Recoveries is 849. Uganda, the cases right now is at 646. Recoveries is 103. No deaths have been reported there in Uganda. Zambia, 1,200 cases. 10 people have died. Recoveries is 912. Zimbabwe, the numbers right now stands at 287. 4 people have died. 46 others have recovered. South Sudan, 1,604. 19 deaths. Recoveries is 15. Sudan, 6,242. The death toll is 372 and recoveries is 2,059. Ethiopia, 2,156. The death toll there is 27. Recoveries is 361. The beautiful land of Madagascar, where we had hoped to have all our solutions from in regards to COVID-19, right now has confirmed cases of 1,052. 9 people have died in Madagascar. 233 others have recovered, and Somalia cases right now stands at 2,368. 84 people have died. Recoveries is 470, and I will not go through the whole of it. Let me just look at Nigeria. Right now, 12,801. 361 people have died. Recoveries is 4,040, and basically, so confirmed cases in Africa as per an hour or so ago, the cases were at 190,767. Out of this, 86,111 people have recovered. Unfortunately, we've lost 5,344 in the continent, and the global statistics right now are just over 7 million people who have been infected by COVID-19. So that is the latest. Tanzania president has come out, and I have some news here, so maybe let me just get into the news and then I'll get Dr. Batanga's opinion on this. So Tanzania's President John Magufuli has declared the country coronavirus free, and thanks to the prayers of the citizens, the corona disease has been eliminated, thanks to God. Mr. Magufuli told worshippers in a church in Dodoma, and he also praised them for not wearing masks or gloves. The World Health Organization has expressed concern about the government's strategy over the COVID-19 crisis. And Doctor, yesterday I saw how you reacted to this information there from Tanzania, but President Magufuli is saying thank you you so much, Tanzanians, for not wearing your masks, for not social distancing, and also for not wearing gloves, because, we are healed from coronavirus. Tanzania is free from coronavirus.
Hey, it is a tragedy, isn't it? Africa. How can it be free when you don't post today how many people
The figures.
so far have died? So maybe he has some miracle. I don't know. But as far as Tanzania is concerned, it worries every member state of East Africa that planes that have been invited to come in Tanzania could spread the disease. Now everybody will fly into Dar es Salaam, then try to come into these other countries. So we are at a risk of having this disease spreading more from Tanzania and entering our countries. So there you are. I don't know, but maybe as a miracle, I don't know.
No, he's one of the few heads of states here in Africa who were hoping to order for the herbal cure from Madagascar. And as we see now, the numbers there in Madagascar continue to surge. So there's a probability that... and yesterday, Doctor, you're not here during the Diaspora Dispatches. The Minister of Education, she's now been fired since, had planned to use about 2.2 million US dollars to buy sweets for children so that when they consume this COVID organic, then they're given about 3 lollipops so that they're able to remove the bitterness. 2.2 million US dollars there, but she was fired by President Rajolina. So a lot of theatrics there from Madagascar. But yeah, the numbers have kept going up from that country.
The number in the minister in Tanzania.
Yes.
The one who was fired is in Tanzania.
No, in Madagascar, the Minister of Education had planned to use 2.2 million US dollars to buy sweets for children, about to distribute 3 lollipops every time they consume the COVID organic, because they say it's very bitter. So she wanted to, have a solution for the children so that they could be encouraged to drink a lot of this COVID organic. But 2.2 million worth of candies, yes.
Let's see how it works out, Miriam, but
yes.
It's a very solid state.
It is. And still with Tanzania, a prominent critic of the Tanzanian government has confirmed that he will be seeking his party's presidential nomination to oppose President John Magufuli in October's election. Tundu Lissu from the main opposition party, Chadema, made the announcement on social media. He said, for the past 5 years under the government of President Magufuli, and the CCM party of Tanzania has endured economic, political, and diplomatic difficulties. He is yet to be endorsed by Chadema as their candidate. Mr. Lissu is currently in Belgium, where he has been receiving treatment for the wounds he sustained when his car was sprayed with bullets in 2017. What is not clear is when he will return to Tanzania to take part in the elections. So Mr. Tundu Lissu, we see that he's doing well now after that attack on him in 2017. Does he have a chance of removing, unseating President John Magufuli?
No way. Knowing how CCM works, no way. CCM will still win. They will win. Yeah. CCM has an ideology. It has produced 4 presidents from Nyerere, Mkapa, Kikwete, Mwinyi. Hassan Mwinyi, Benjamin Mkapa, Mr. Kikaya Kikwete. 5 presidents. This one is the 5th. It will win again. So the answer is straight. As straight as that. No. You have kumaliza muda.
Okay.
Next.
We go to South Sudan, and a South Sudanese businessman and former intelligence officer says he has launched a new rebel group and intends to overthrow what he calls the corrupt leadership of the country. The government has not yet commented. Now, Kerbino Awol was called has called it the 7th of October movement, a reference to the day of a riot at the detention facility where he was held without trial for 2 years. He was pardoned by President Salva Kiir in January. Now, despite the formation of the unity government after almost 6 years of civil war, correspondents say South Sudan remains fragile. Political rivalries have not been resolved and ethnic clashes have increased. So this is a man that had been under detention, and President Salva Kiir pardoned him in January. He's coming out, doctor, and he's saying, you know what, I'm launching a new rebel group and I intend to overthrow corrupt leadership of the country, and that is President Salva Kiir.
I predicted it. It is not yet over until it's over. That one is going to work. From the international point of view, is supported by certain 2 countries. It will work.
So the overthrowing of President Salva Kiir, that will work.
Yes. He invited it. It's too weak now to fight. COVID-19 has put them down. This man has waited until they reach that pinnacle point. Then come.
And remember, just the other day, the Deputy Minister of Interior also resigned, citing the lack of will by President Salva Kiir and Riek Machar to implement the peace deal. Are we seeing a convergence of people coming together, like-minded, who are trying to, now that this person has come out to say he's planning to form, he has already formed a rebel group, and then we see others like the former assistant minister, they are resigning, citing that the lack of will. Are we seeing a realignment here? Really, that poses a huge challenge to a danger for the presidency of President Salva Kiir.
The peace was done badly. I'm speaking as a professional. And I believe General Njoroge, who is up there, should borrow some information from us and prepare for the worst in that country. Thank you.
All right, and we move to Libya, and the situation right now over there is quite interesting. And Russia has given its backing to an Egyptian peace initiative aimed at ending the fighting in Libya. Both Russia and Egypt are allied with the Libyan renegade General Khalifa Haftar. In recent days, his hopes of capturing the capital Tripoli and taking over the whole country have been shattered. The general has suffered a string of defeats of the hands of Libyans, a UN-backed government which has had significant military help from Turkey. Now, over the weekend, Egypt set out a plan calling for a ceasefire and talks between the warring parties. It is interesting now that Russia, I would say, it is backing the peace process. Of course, Russia has been working with Egypt and also the UAE, supporting the Khalifa Haftar to fight the UN-backed government. And so now they have been defeated. And we saw some images there a few weeks ago showing Russian mercenaries in Libya, supporting and aiding and help fighting along Khalifa Haftar. And so now they've been defeated. So they're saying they're supporting the peace deal that is has been initiated by Egypt. And I saw over the weekend, Egyptian President El-Sisi, together, they're holding a press conference with Haftar to say now they want a peace talk. Can you even, Doctor, trust that side? And right now, just a few minutes before coming here, I've also seen President of Turkey, Erdogan, who supports the UN-backed government there, saying he had a very successful phone call by President Trump in regards to the situation right now in Libya. So now we see the UN-backed government is being backed by Turkey, and also the US seems to be on board there. What is the end game for Libya?
It's gone. All along, I supported the government of national unity. I blamed the AU. I was right. Matanga always goes on the right side. Here it is. I told you, Miriam, here, General Khalifa Haftar, a killer, sponsored by the United States of America in the form of a passport, disrupted everything. The only thing I ask from the government of national unity is never to hand over Gaddafi's son. If they try, then we shall fight it again. Yes, on this one, I stood for international neutrality. The African Union erred. How do you recognize two people in one country? That, oh, let's talk with Assisi and Khalifa. Please, take your troops to Mediterranean Sea and sink them there. We want a free Libya, a Libya that can recapture itself, come back. It has its resources. Get off. Yes.
And watching that press conference that Egyptian president had in the presence of Mr. Khalifa Haftar, you would think Khalifa was also a head of state. He was accorded the honors in the manner in which this press conference was held there. But now that you've reminded us, Doctor, that Haftar has a U.S. Citizenship, and now the U.S. is coming in saying that it is backing the Turkey government, Prime Minister Erdogan coming and saying that, he had a very successful talks with the U.S. with President Trump in regards to the situation, and that goes to show perhaps the U.S. is supporting Turkey and its efforts fighting the other side, Russia and all that, which could be possible because the U.S., owing that Russia is fighting the other side, so obviously the U.S. will be on the opposing side. But is U.S. Really honest in this regard, trying to help the government of national unity that is also United Nations backed, owing that Haftar is a U.S. citizen, and all along the U.S. has been not very committal in terms of fighting Haftar there. Are they playing? Are they playing Turkey and other allies of the unity government?
Of course, Turkey is trying to clean its name, and America will buy anything. But on this one, the world is with the government of national unity. That's it. We want a stable North Africa. If they can stabilize it, fine. Thank you.
All right, we move to Ethiopia, where the Speaker of Ethiopia's parliament says she is resigning after accusing Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed's administration of unconstitutional attempts to stay in power. Keria Ibrahim, who is the Speaker of Ethiopia's upper house of parliament, called the House of Federations, says she doesn't want to be part of a process in which the constitution is being violated and an authoritarian government is being formed. Ethiopia has postponed parliamentary elections due in August over the coronavirus pandemic. This has prompted a constitutional crisis as the government's term expires in October. So Mr. Abiy Ahmed there is being accused of wanting to stay in power illegally, but also you consider we have the coronavirus here. It's there, and we've seen the numbers there in Ethiopia. Is he right in postponing the August elections, or is this a good opportunity for Mr. Abiy Ahmed to extend illegally his term?
Again, Miriam, thank you for asking that question. I told you about 3 months ago on this show that getting a Nobel Prize, Peace Prize, is the most dangerous an African should touch. Very few Africans who got those things have survived. Look at them. Where's Mandela? Where's Brutus Gali? Where's Kofi Annan? Where's Madare Wangai? It's bad omen.
Is it?
It brings you. Yeah. Ask. The only man still, there are only 2 people alive. Desmond Tutu and D. Clark. Show me another one who is alive. Show me. I'm an expert on this world of a Great Lakes region. That is a curse. I saw those things are given to NGO people. People who cough like a Macau Mutua, cough NGO, oh, NGO, oh, NGO. That Ethiopian Prime Minister has never worked anywhere. He's an NGO man. He's now moving elections, he's losing everybody. People are running out. People are running out. There you are. And moreover, he's not in control of the army, which Zenawi created Tigray Liberation Forces, TGF, Tigray, DLGF. So it is finito. You won't have. It's going. It's because, you know, he's ruling from the West. If you are ruling by George Soros ethics, do this, suppress, do that, you are finished. He found a very good, vibrant economy, a very good leader. Now, the good leader was forced out because they wanted a man from the majority rule, a majority tribesman. Now there we are. I told you here, it was a very big mistake for Abe to greet my friend Afeki. I have told you the story of Afeki Matsanga, Zenawi, and Teguros in London. Very interesting story. It needs a lot of drink, courage to talk about it. We have gone through a lot together with those guys in making sure that Africans are recognized in Britain. During the Ethiopian hunger relief and the Uganda crisis, I was the chairman, the vice chairman, and Mezana was the chairman of Ethiopia. We used to meet the Foreign and Commonwealth Office, the Prime Minister, by then Margaret Thatcher. Very difficult to work under Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher. But here we are. God bless us.
All right.
Ethiopia needs a strong hand. Mr. Abe cannot manage.
All right, thank you there. Uchenna Augustine, you're saying a protest is going on in Nigeria right now in Buhari State. 40 people were killed this morning by bandits. So we see the situation there is not very good there in Nigeria. Thank you so much for watching us. Doctor, we come to the end of the Diaspora Dispatches. It was short today. So thank you for your time.
Thank you very much for honoring us. And I want to ask all the viewers that we have done our best. This television speaks the truth, lines out the truth, and that is how we do it. Thank you very much, Miriam. God bless you. See you tomorrow or later.
All right, thank you so much.
Let's rest a bit. Our voices, then we can come back, speak again tomorrow.
All right, thank you so much, and our viewers, thank you so much for watching. Let's meet here again tomorrow for other news making headlines in Kenya, and also in the continent. A very good afternoon to you.
Thank you.